Thank you. That made him laugh. Don't mention it ever again.
If you get jammed up, don't mention my throat clearing habit.
Hi, welcome to the show.
This is you answering the door. You're like, oh, hi, it's good to see you.
I know. Well, guess what? I had major surgery. I couldn't breathe. Now I can breathe, but there's some throat clearing. And I know it's annoying.
No, you don't.
But you don't. Yes, I do. I can't help it. It's like a.
What physical tick do I have that makes you insane?
When I stop to let you walk, which you just did 10 seconds ago, you never just go. You yield to me as I'm yielding to you.
Yes, because you are the plow. You have to plow through.
So you want me to go first?
Always.
Whatever happened to ladies first?
I'm not going first. Probably like a freaking trap door.
But it does annoy me because I'm like, I'm letting you go. We've been together for 10 years.
But you have to understand.
Have we started? Oh, all right.
You fall into the hole, not me.
Oh, so okay. I'll go first from now on. That's established. Now.
You know when you're playing Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah.
And you like secretly let the other person go first because then you watch how they mess up the level and then you can do it right.
Or like on the challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand. But people are going to look at me and go, he got off the elevator first. Look at him. He has no chivalry.
Oh my God. Remember the word that you said wrong the other day?
What? No.
Smarmy.
What did I say?
Schwarmy.
That's how I've always said it.
I was like, oh, is he real chickeny?
Schwarmy.
Schwarmy.
I want to introduce the show
I'd love some Schwarmy right now.
With a new segment I'm calling Awkward Corner because the Dr. Awk-ta-puss is back, baby.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You've already introduced Awkward Corner.
I have?
Yes. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I had two really bad ones in the last week.
It's like that video of what's his name going to shake his hand, but he didn't want to shake his hand.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I had two that will rival that.
With like Troy Aiken just like laughing in the corner. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. He like
gestures like this. He's like, he's just like, no, I was just gesturing.
But I've done that. Have you done that?
I've done them all, baby. I have done them all.
I've done the hug where the person's not going in for the hug, and then you have to kind of like shake them by the shoulders. Like,
Alyssa, I'm going to describe to you
go ahead.
One of the most horrifying awkward hug moments ever, right? So
this shouldn't be Awkward Corner. It should be like, you know, Tales from the Crypt or something.
Dumbass Corner? Daddy dumbass. So I'm working with this colleague who used to actually be a customer of mine, and we have a nice rapport. We're pals, whatever. And she comes in to this conference that I'm at, and she's like very warm, and she gives me a little side hug, and I give her a little side hug. And then she's standing there and she's asking me some question about the conference.
Ooh, I gotta chill.
But then she kind of bobs back in. She kind of leans. So I give her another hug.
Weird.
And she did not. She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh no. So then the next day when I saw her, I was like, I stayed far away. It was awful.
I make this mistake all the time because when I'm like working mostly with men, right? And when my boss sees one of my coworkers, they shake hands. Like they just do this, like a, you know, good to see you kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then I think it's sexist to assume that you're just going to hug the woman. Like, I think that's weird. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a comedy thing too, right? Like, don't hug me getting off stage. It's weird.
This is something I learned from you.
Right. So then, but I saw him at this conference and he had done like the bro handshake with my coworker. And then I was standing right there. So then I also was like, and he was like,
yeah.
He like didn't know what to do with it. I was like, but you just did it with that guy normally.
But I do it to women comics because you taught me there's no need to,
right,
you know, mash your chest against 9 comics just because you're on a show. And then the women that I try to hug, they get offended and then they try to, you know, give me hickeys, make out me.
I just walk around town like this.
I go like that. That's what we used to do with our power forward / translator in Europe, Vince. That was our secret handshake. We're like,
with a V?
Yeah, with the V. So we hit him with the V like this.
It's disgusting.
Go like this.
I don't want to anymore.
And then you look inside.
Can I ask how I did this morning? Sorry. I hugged Noah first, gave him the high five and a big hug, and then I gave you a hug. Is that okay?
Yes, but I like hugging you.
And the woman?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check.
You always have to do more to the man. So if you hug the women on the show, you have to suck the The male comic's penis. That's what I do.
Do you
Just
think?
to say hello.
Do you think? Do you ever
Hello. I'm exhausted. They're like, you have to go up. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, oh, hello.
I was gonna say that, like, you know, when you go to a holiday party and then, like, at someone's house, throat clear, and you like hug both the hosts and then you like maybe hug their kid and then like the dog comes over. I'm like, no.
Hug the dog.
I don't hug the dog.
No. All right. So ready for the second octopus? Dr. Octopus?
What's a Dr. Octopus?
AWK. Awkward. Dr. Octopus.
I think that you have CTE.
Yo, I think that all the time.
I know.
I go through my phone.
Something wrong with you.
I'm like, I gotta text this woman. I can think of her face. I can think of her where she works. It's like a work text. Text this woman sounded bad. And I go, I can't. And I have to search like the office address. And then I go, oh, okay. I have major memory loss.
Yikes.
So I get a beer at this holiday party, which we will cover in depth. This holiday party we went to that led to the demise of my life.
Sure.
But
well, also that coupled with your lack of personal hygiene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eating habits. It's a perfect storm. But I go to the bar, get a drink. I come back. I'm hanging with, you know, some acquaintances, some friends and acquaintances.
At the holiday party.
Uh-huh. And they go, we're talking about towns. And I go, Shrub Oak, baby, which is the town where one of these guys lives. And I go to high five him, and he does high five me. And I go, yeah, we're thinking about staying in the city. Da, da, da. I do a whole monologue about towns. I like this town, that town. And then he goes, we're talking about Carl Anthony towns.
Painful.
And I feel like such a loser.
You're talking about literal towns. Also, like, that's like when you ask a little kid to like name something that starts with the letter T. Like, just talking about towns is like not an interesting conversation.
I was confused too.
I mean, it's like, what is this? Like the busy world of Richard Scarry? You're like, busy town and quiet town. Like, who cares?
I was like, you got Armonk, you got White Plains, you got Tarrytown, you got Sleepy Hollow.
I don't know. I'm really glad I wasn't there for that one because I probably would have left.
I need to be like re-socialized. I was.
You know
acting
what I
like,
realize about myself when I go to parties?
What's that?
I don't like go to the bathroom. Do you go to the bathroom?
I didn't go for nearly 2 hours, and when I did go, this is another thing that annoyed me. Those bathrooms were like medieval with the chain. They were downstairs. Remember that?
I don't remember the chain, but I remember going downstairs.
They were single stall. They were old bathrooms, and they were very cool. So on my second trip down to the bathroom, I go, these bathrooms are cool. These are like the coolest bathrooms in New York. And then this gay dude was like, oh, do you go to a lot of bathrooms? And he owned my ass. And I was like, I guess it was a dumb comment.
You were really on one this party.
I hate myself. I was on dad mode, like Dr. Rick mode.
I was on mom mode only because there were stairs down to the bathroom. And I only went to the bathroom because I was like, oh, we might... My only concern about going to the bathroom is like getting home or getting to the place where I need to go. Because did you see how the train at J Street got stuck there for an hour and a half without phone or power or anything? No. And they had to evacuate everyone like along the side. This happened like 2 days ago.
No.
So when I read about these things happen, I'm like, anywhere I am, like I have to go to the bathroom before I leave just in case. But I'm like, when I'm actually at the party, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I never think to. And then I was in mom mode because I had to go down those stairs. And I'm like, everyone here is like heavily drinking. And I'm like, it made me nervous that like all these people are going to be like walking down the stairs drunk.
Yeah.
On like very small, like high heels. And I'm like, this seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like you're a party venue.
You hear my big joke exit from the party?
No, God.
All the fellas were hanging out ripping cigs and we were getting in our Uber. And I go, oh, what's up, guys? Having some cigarettes? You guys must be seniors. They all laughed. And I was like, I'm out of here.
Definitely liked it.
Yeah, what do you guys, seniors? Senior parking lot?
You basically like Costanza them. You told one good joke and you got out of there.
I did. I
just remember you literally yelling at the Uber driver, demanding that he like put on this music. And he is like, I'm like, just let the man drive. We're like turning onto the highway and you're like, sir, the aux cord. I'm like, shut up. Like,
and then what do we listen to on the way home?
I don't even know. Because then you kept
Dipset.
trying to talk to me and you kept telling the guy to turn up the music. And so you're like screaming at my head.
Exclusively Cameron all the way home.
He didn't even know what was happening.
It was like dip, dip, set. Who you wet, wet.
It wasn't sweet. No, it wasn't.
It
sweet.
was sweet.
No, it wasn't.
It was sweet. It was like, I'm standing with my 2 arms up. What now? Looking for my 2 hands up.
Noah,
Touchdown.
The following day, like just as someone who has been drinking actually for years longer than I have, how would you say you handled the following day after this party?
I bounced back really strong.
No.
Right away. Well, you always want to talk and chatter, when we get home. I could get home like a military, like a special unit. What is it?
A special unit. That you do belong in a special unit. I'll tell you that right now.
Like special forces, I can just go right to sleep.
You're like in SEAL Team 9 or whatever.
Yeah, I'm in SEAL Team 69.
You didn't make it to 6.
SEAL Team 6-pack over here. Thank you.
Don't.
So you want to chat, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, sorry. I want to talk to my husband, who I didn't even see at the party.
It was hard. There were over 14 people there. We didn't talk once.
But I actually think that's kind of nice. It's like, it would be so hard to be married to someone who couldn't talk to people on their own. And it's nice to know that when I get to a party, you're going to go annoy someone else.
Yeah, we were.
You're like, listen to this story, Megan. She's like, oh no, he's coming.
Well, we both just talk to everybody. And
we can't stop.
In the morning, did you feel good about what you were saying to people, your stories? I only felt good about that cigarette joke. The rest of it, I go, shut up. No, nobody cares.
I did make Sam laugh at some point, and I felt good about that. And then there was one funny interaction with someone where she was like, I've met you before. And I was like, I basically said, good for you. Oh. But I didn't mean it in a rude way. I was just kind of like, what do you, that's such a weird thing to say to someone.
Well, right. No, I hate, number one,
why don't you just go, oh, it's good to see you again. And then you can be like, oh, remember, I'm this person. Why people feel the need to double down on making me feel bad. Don't you think I hate myself? My self-loathing is, I would say at a 97% on a good day.
At an all-time high right now?
Oh, but I'm like, my baseline is exponentially higher than the average person's. So then when I'm drinking and or hungover, you think it goes down? No. We double down, right? So then when people say something even just vaguely rude at a party, I'm like, who's this punishing? You don't think I punish myself? No one is meaner to me than me.
Right.
So, thanks for the dig, but I'll just use it against myself later.
Back in my Bro J's days, where we lived next to Brother Jimmy's, I went there minimum 4 times a week.
Right.
There was this girl who would go there who went to Princeton with us. And she wouldn't go there with us, but she'd be there somewhat often too. And she'd be like, what's my name, Noah? And I'd be like, I couldn't remember it. I literally was like, it's either a Megan or a Sarah. And at one point, she's just like, I can't do this anymore. Here.
You know that story about when I visited Megan at Villanova, right?
No.
So we're hanging out with her friends at a bar or whatever, and talking to one of her guy friends. And at the end of the night, he's trying to get me to go home with him instead of going home with Megan. And I'm like, okay, so I'll go home with you. Yeah. I'm like, what's my name?
Yeah.
This is a person I've met many, many times and have now spent an hour talking to. Mm-hmm. And he knows he knows I'm coming to visit Megan. And he looks at me and he goes, Katie. And all the girls were like, no.
Yeah, but that would happen to me. And I learned right towards the end of my career, lock in names, but also
at the end of your dating career?
At the end of my dating career, because sometimes I go, what's my name? And you go, Sarah. Obviously I know that. But you're like, I only learned that because I used to not know.
Well, I always felt like it was usually I would only play this game with people that I was not interested in at all. Yeah. But another fun one along those same lines was when the guy's pushing too hard for it and you're like, okay, so, I'll go out with you, whatever. And then I'd close my eyes and be like, if you can tell me what color my eyes are. You've been looking at me for an hour.
Oh yeah. So
they always got it wrong every time. I think that's just the panic,
I don't know if I could have told you that.
What color my eyes are?
Right now? Yeah. I know they're not blue. They're not bright blue.
They're not bright blue.
I know they're...
Describe your wife. She's been missing for 24 hours.
She talk a lot.
Is she going to hear this description? Because honestly, you would never find me You'd be like, she's short and thin. They'd be like, with not blue eyes. They'd be like, we can't find her. We found this big old lady that you're like, it can't be her.
Well, along the same lines of awkward 20ness, kind of brutalness.
Awkward. Why are you wearing a hat, by the way?
Because if I take it off,
Woo!
should I take it off?
No, put it back on.
I'm thinking about doing Rogaine. Joe Rogaine. The Joe Rogaine experience.
Wait, we should rebrand this podcast to the Joe Rogaine experience.
Can we do that?
Of course we
can do anything we want.
Also, we're protected by parody law.
Do you know anybody from Rogaine that we could brand it?
What do you mean?
The brand Rogaine. Do you know anybody who runs brand over there?
It's like, what, Clairol? Like, I'm sure we could find someone.
I'll just do Rogaine and that'll be the pod.
Okay.
But
that's the whole pod? They just watch your hair grow? It's like a chia pet.
Yeah. Because now I've got bigger problems.
All right, can you put back on the hat, though?
I'm not going to. I'm now Mitchy. So I had a horrible illness the last 5 days.
Following your massive hangover.
Yeah, so I thought I was hungover. I order Lox sandwich, delicious Lox.
You know when you're feeling like really nauseous and you have a devastating headache from
devastating hand job? Is that what you
devastating.
You have a devastating hand job?
You've given yourself a devastating hand job,
Yeah.
and now you need smoked fish?
Yeah, it's slamming.
That's
slamming and
disgusting.
jamming.
If you are feeling nauseous coming off of a night of drinking, I don't understand how you could eat slimy fish tails.
Slimy fish tails, tomato. You get the salt from the capers. You get the cream cheese fat. You get all that bread from the bagel. And you're like, let's go.
No.
Yeah.
That's like people who wake up and they're like, you know what the best thing to have when you're hungover? A banana. And you're like, I'm going to die. Like, I would never. It's hard for me to eat a banana just sitting here.
So I had that. And then I started feeling, I actually felt like, okay. Like mainly just tired when I first woke up. I had the bagel. And then I started feeling awful. And I was like, by that night, I go, this is not a hangover. This is something more sinister. And it turned out to be a terrible stomach virus, which I'm just coming out of now.
Okay.
Now,
You've lost a lot of weight.
I got on the scale. No. I got on the scale, and those of us from Get Ripped or Die Trying will remember my goal weights after 4 days of a stomach virus. Now, I haven't weighed myself in a long time, so I don't know where I started, but 283? I was like, God damn it. That's my freaking didn't eat for 4 days weight. But anyway.
The good news for me is that when you have a stomach bug, I actually eat less because 1, I am grossed out, and 2, I'm so busy that I don't really have time to eat. And I used to make fun of those people who are like, I don't have time to eat lunch. I'm like, make time. Like, shove food into my face.
I've never said that, nor will I ever say that.
But yesterday I had my lunch for dinner and I was like, am I thin?
You are thin.
I am thin.
So during this time of absolute devastation where I felt top 5 illness in my life, felt terrible.
Yep.
So I had the chills, I had the sweats, the meat sweats, all of it.
You didn't have the meat sweats.
And,
you had the regular sweats.
I had the regular sweats. So I started rewatching Girls from the beginning, which I might stick with and I might not. I plowed through season 1 like 1 second. And the reason I've held off on...
Aren't there like 10 episodes?
Yeah, I went right through. They're only like 25 minutes.
No, you were in bed all day.
What is your point? I didn't watch enough or I watched too much?
You're saying it went so fast. It's like, yeah, you're in bed watching TV. Like,
I'm just saying how much I watched. I had a bigger point. I'm not saying that I watched too much.
Sorry, this detail was so interesting. Keep going.
And I've held off to watching it because when the show came out, it was almost like watching your own life at the time. Right. It was actually like painful to watch. I was jealous that she got to make it. Because I wrote a script called Being 24, just about how awful that time period was for like us, basically like millennials. I'm rewatching this thing.
Now it's like locked up in some sort of evidence.
Well, it's on a computer.
Yeah, it's on
with over 6,000 Bitcoin. And if I find that thing.
Wait, it's just like locked on a computer somewhere?
It's on like a Word document on a like 2 generations ago computer that I probably still have.
How do I get files off those computers?
You gotta turn them on.
Then what? Print them out?
Print them out. Put them on a floppy. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The Girls pilot is the best pilot ever made.
Yeah.
it is the voice of our generation. Any boomer who ever questions anything that we've ever gone through needs to watch this.
This is so topical.
It's the world according to Noah Savage. I'm telling you what's going on.
You know what I realized?
This is what we talked about on the way over.
You know what I realized the other day?
What?
Even though like technology has like advanced so much in like the 15 years since I've joined the like professional workforce, everyone still goes to the office to print.
Yep.
You need to print something, you're doing it on the company computer. There's no way. I know, but it doesn't work.
No, I go to Staples.
Oh, well, I guess you don't have an office.
It's not easy. It's like
it's not easy.
At Staples, it's not easy.
Yeah, it is easy. You just put in your credit card and you print.
Or FedEx, whatever one I go to. I know, but it takes too long. It's not good.
Well, you don't have an office, so you don't count.
The only thing that's dated in this whole season 1 of Girls, I thought we were going to talk about keep talking about our 20s. In
oh,
this
sorry.
episode.
Go ahead.
That's how we're going to use this. I have to spell it out for you.
Even in my 20s, I went to the office to print.
I couldn't. Printing was a problem in my 20s. I'm 10 minutes before an interview. I got no resume. I got no pants on. So
I feel like actually if we met in our 20s, which like maybe we did, right? Like I was talking about this with my
well, we started seriously dating when we were 28. So we did meet in our 20s.
No, but I mean like
24.
I guess when we met, we were still sort of a hot mess, but not really. You were still a hot mess. You were sleeping on a mattress that was bigger than the box spring on the floor.
Alyssa.
And you had removed the doors to your closet so your feet could stick into the closet because there wasn't actually enough room for you in there.
Yeah. Can I rebrand my journey for you?
Sure.
Resilient, resourceful. I hate when people say it that way. Slept in a closet, slept behind bookshelves. It did what I had to do to get on top.
And are you on top?
And look at me now. I got my own show. Look at the studio.
Ugh. The bathroom in the apartment where you lived when I met you was like crusted over with like a film of just mold. It was like mold and like shower gel that had like coagulated into like honestly it was messed up.
You never saw 33rd Street. Carly would shower with booties on because she goes, I'm not going to clean your bathroom for you guys. I go, so you're going to stand in a moldy shower? Because we actually had 2 showers in that joint.
That's wild.
And my back shower was actually clean. And Bucks was like literally in the tub mold and she would stand in it and shower. I go, you're like a nasty trash raccoon, okay?
Why don't you just use your shower?
I don't know. She had a lot of rules with her. I tried to start a podcast with her. She said, you're too dirty. I can't ruin my career. I said, fine. I said,
smart.
Fine. I became Rodney for no reason.
For no reason.
I told her, hey, take a hike to Fox News. So the one thing that's funny about Girls is that
there's only one thing.
I don't find the show particularly funny. I find it to be a tragedy, but
I think there's a lot of stuff that's really funny. Also, one of my favorite lines in that show is when her parents are taking her out to dinner and they're like basically like, you need to grow up, and they reference the phone family plan and Lena Dunham's like, you said that was easier for you.
It's so funny.
Perfect. It's just like even her delivery of certain things is, I mean, the whole way she built that character is perfection. There's nothing better.
Here's how good her character was, her acting, writing, everything is that people actually hate her.
Right. Because
of the character that she's playing, which is an unlikable character.
Did you ever watch Tiny Furniture?
No.
Like the precursor to this?
No.
It's like also, it's almost like, because it's a little bit.
It's like a prequel almost.
Yes. It's like a little raw. Like it's like when I watched that movie and I had already seen Girls at that point, I was like, I'm having like a full on trauma response. Like I was like, I can't.
But almost everything that me and you experienced in our, 23, 24, 25 happens within the first 4 episodes of that show.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. The other perfect line is when Adam is consoling Marnie that she had a breakup.
Right.
He goes, that shit's really hard. I decided I'm going to just do what makes me feel good. And I bought a circular saw and I started woodworking. What makes you feel good? And she goes, reading. It's perfect. It is. But I have no point.
Cool.
Yeah. But I've been rewatching. Huh? Uh-huh. What is your deal? Alyssa Wolf, actress.
Oh boy.
Became Jiminy Glick. Want me to go to the notes?
Sure.
Do you have anything more to say about Girls, a show that came out 15 years ago?
I haven't watched it in so long, and I don't think I would ever rewatch it because
It's too traumatic, right?
I mean, maybe I will like in like a time capsule way at some point, but I like because I mean I have mentioned this before on the podcast, but due to my mental illness, it's very hard for me to confront parts of my past that make me feel terrible because I can't shake it off.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, do you want to think about like some of the like worst, most embarrassing, stupid things you did when you were like 25? And you go, no, I don't. Like I'm pretty good at repressing things, and I don't feel that's like totally a bad thing. How do you feel about repression? Repression versus oppression. Which one do you prefer?
Well, I feel like I spent a lot of time. I'm going to answer your question by interviewing myself, which is a technique.
You do oppress a lot of people.
I love oppressing people.
Right.
And I love
do you repress anything?
I love impressing
I don't really
people.
know you to repress anything, actually.
Really?
Everything's sort of like right on top.
I don't think so. I learned long ago that women don't want to hear your feelings, that you need to bury them deep down and be a man.
What? You cry constantly. I'm saying you
During
can't.
sports, I cry.
You cry all the time.
I love crying. I cried yesterday reading The Invisible String to Henry.
Yeah, you cried when Henry started like singing last night. You texted me that you were crying.
That's true. It was really cute, though.
He is cute.
He was singing the Kelly Clarkson Christmas song, like on his own. And I was
So
like,
cute.
You're an amazing miracle. He was just singing it like under his breath. He's like, last year under the tree. And I was like, oh, you're so cool.
He's cute.
Wait, rewind 6 paragraphs. What was I saying? Rewind
I
it,
don't
flip and
know.
reverse it.
What else did you want to talk about?
The holidays. Happy Honda Days to you.
It's first of all, it's Toyotathon in this family, and I do think that we should wrap my mom's
Yep, we are going to do this.
existing Lexus and put it in the driveway for my brother.
We are doing this.
And I actually was thinking about this because my brother is not going to laugh. Like his initial reaction is going to be like, what? Yeah. Like he's not going to give us the reaction we want, but you and I will laugh really hard, and therefore it will be worth it.
We've had several holiday moments at your family's house where we do something and both your brother and sister are like, what? What was that?
That's my entire life.
Well, the first year I brought like a lot of presents.
Right.
And I brought like toys almost for like joke gifts.
Right.
I brought like your brother like bubble hockey, and I brought like a toy like, you know, remote control helicopter, which actually ended up being pretty fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then your brother and sister didn't give me anything. So then I've really like toned it down. I pretty much don't do anything.
And now they get you a lot of stuff.
Now they like me, so they like load me up.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping that there's like no real like adult gifts this year.
I hope so too. Some years it's so funny. Some years I'm so exhausted of, you know what ad really pisses me off this year is this. Patrick Mahomes is switching. No, he's getting Verizon in his stocking with a new phone. And I hate the phone holiday ads.
First of all, I don't like Patrick Mahomes, as you know. And second of all, I don't know. Like, there's the SNL sketch, right, about where she like gets mad that you like bought a car without consulting her. But I'm like, the phone is the same thing. They make it seem like we're just like buying phones. No one's just like. You wait until the very last minute with your phone, and then you begrudgingly buy something, or you get something like secondhand or whatever because you're like, the phone costs $1,100. You're not just like, oh, I'm gonna like surprise Noah with a new phone. It's like a massive purchase.
Yes, but poor people, they like bundle it into their other debts, and like it's like $17 a month with T-Mobile, and you get an iPhone and a ride-on tractor or some shit.
Sure, but like
it's
I'm just
awful.
saying.
And then you're an indentured servant the rest of your life.
But how are you going to fit that in my stocking?
The mower?
Yeah.
I wish you'd get me a Bad Boys mower, ride-on mower, baby.
First of all, if and when we ever buy a house with a yard,
Yep.
I was just saying this to someone. I'm like, the chances of Noah mowing the lawn are next to zero. I'm like, the chances of me being out there mowing the lawn are pretty high.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What are you, Larry Bird, mowing your own lawn?
Of course.
People do
Anything
it.
that's broken in the house, people are like, you're lucky you got Noah around. I'm like, what, to break it?
I'm very handy, number one, and I'm very handsy, which is a problem when I'm a handyman.
Oh my God. Our contractor who came over to just like, to just
glue.
He literally, we were like, can you fix these cabinets? He just glued them to the wall. I was like, incredible move. And then you weren't home, but or maybe you were just like dying in the other room, but he came back to check this like leaky pipe, and someone called him, and like, I have to move the mic. This is how loud he was. He goes, working for a living. I'm like, Jesus, like, you're gonna wake up the baby. Like, he literally was screaming to his friend on speakerphone while he just tapped a pipe and goes, it's not leaking.
Well,
I'm like, there's a puddle of water underneath it.
It's funny to me that he makes our small apartment into like a construction site. It's like,
for no reason.
You're not on a construction site, buddy. You're wood gluing, leaning cabinets up.
They're like particle board.
When I used to work construction with my dad, one of the things I noticed that I never did a bit on, but I probably should, is he didn't really swear a lot in his real life.
But on the job,
the second you get on the job, he like, pass me that motherfucking 2x4, tap that in a cunt hair closer. I was always like, what? Like, with random swears at random times. He's like, yep, that's working the job. I'm like,
no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in like.
But I can fix stuff. So when we do get a house.
But you haven't ever fixed anything.
That's not true. I insulate our old windows, where if you stand near our New York City apartment windows, you can feel and you can see the air coming in.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, it's called ventilation.
I take tape. No, when they're closed.
It's called ventilation.
So then I take tape and I taped it all up and I insulate it with plastic, and then it's hot for 2 seconds, and you're like, tear it down, I'm having hot flashes.
First of all, you didn't even measure the window, so it's all like glommed together like a child did it. It's like, I found scraps of plastic all over there, because you literally are taking it, you're not measuring it, and then you're just randomly taking the scissors and being like, slice, and then it's like when you let like a kid help you wrap like a Christmas gift. It's all like crumpled in the corner, and one side like looks fine but is like ineffective, and the other side's all crumpled and like sticky for some reason.
Yeah.
You got to do it over.
Well,
basically.
the one in the kids' room also now has like condensation on the inside.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, we got to fix that.
Yeah. We got to move.
We do have to move. I feel like
get back to the holidays spirit. Say something about the holidays for the kids.
What?
We're talking about the holidays. You got sidetracked by construction talk. You always do.
I do.
You always want to talk construction.
I surely do. I don't know. We don't even have a tree yet.
No.
And like, we have like 5 days of being in this apartment before Christmas. So I don't know what your plan is there.
Maybe I'll get one today. Put it up. Put it up. Look at it.
I don't know.
There it is.
I feel like our kids are tough ages to have a tree, because one kid's going to be really into it and one kid is going to try and just pull it down. So
we're going to block it off with the playpen. I've already spoken to Indira about it.
Yeah, but the playpen doesn't work. That's why we don't use it anymore.
She said maybe we get a fake tree so our baby doesn't eat the pine needles for safety purposes.
Fake tree?
Yeah, not my fave. Kind of depressed mode.
I think like there is a time and a place for a fake tree, but I don't know if I'm there yet.
We get a really small one and put it on our counter.
That's what I'm saying. Let's just get a little guy.
Put it up on the kitchen counter.
Yeah, like a 2-footer.
Put it on the ceiling.
Put it on like a little end table.
So what else are your holiday pet peeves? What else you got? Content. Clip it.
What are my holiday pet peeves?
Yeah. People of other religions.
I don't like when people say happy holidays.
Really?
Or, oh no, you know what my number one is?
What?
You're leaving somewhere and they go, see you next year.
You don't like that?
No, I'm like, yeah, you mean tomorrow? It's so annoying to me.
Yeah.
I'll see you in like a week and a half. Like,
yeah.
That's not there.
That doesn't bother me.
Of course it doesn't, because you do it.
I don't do it, but I'm this close.
You're
push me.
basically doing it.
Don't
you're basically
push me.
doing it. You showed up here in your pajamas wearing a hat.
I hear the words that come out of my mouth sometimes, and I'm like, oh, God, you're a loser. You're so dad mode boring.
Yeah. And will you be addressing that in the new year?
I'm gonna try to get cooler in the new year. Oh, let's do
cool challenge.
No, let's
cool
do
tools.
Shush.
Oh,
Don't
you know what I
interrupt
want
me
for Christmas?
when I'm talking over you.
I want the game Crossfire.
I will get you that. It's
You'll
not fun.
get caught up in the crossfire.
It's not good.
Crossfire.
I have a pitch name for you.
Okay.
In the new year, Noah Savage becomes Savage Noah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, a gentleman and a savage. I got 1 year to not be a loser before 40. I'm 39.
My God.
I'm 39 in Jan.
Uh-oh.
I said if I'm not on Conan O'Brien by age 40, I'm quitting.
If I'm not a
entertainment.
guest on Jay Leno before I'm 40.
Yeah, I got to get on Letterman now.
Yeah.
Let's do New Year's resis. Got any?
Yeah. I have all the usual ones.
Convert.
Be thin.
Yep.
I don't want to lose weight. I just want to be thin.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't like when people tell you like the trick to losing weight and it like involves like discipline or like whatever. I'm like, yeah. What else you got? And I don't like the idea of like, oh, I'm going to do Ozempic or whatever. Cause then I'm like, so then what? Then I lose all this weight.
Just do it forever.
I can't do it forever. I can't do anything forever. The
problem-
I'm so tired.
My problem with Ozempic, okay? And
Okay.
all of them, Monjaro, as a person who left the doctor with the prescription and was like, I'm going to do it, I don't care, is that it does change your brain chemistry so that you don't crave food or enjoy food. And I'm honestly afraid I would just stop enjoying life and be like depressed.
Right.
Because I like liking food.
I guess I'm just like,
I like it.
how many, like, so much of my life right now feels like I'm doing something with a purpose, right? Like every part of my day is basically like spoken for. There's no downtime in my day.
Yep.
Ever.
Yep.
And so if I also take away food enjoyment or like drinking enjoyment,
Yeah.
what?
I'm off the sauce personally.
I know you're sober now. Due
going sober
to
through
the fact
Christmas.
that you like basically destroyed every toilet in our home. And then you were like, I think it's food poisoning. I'm like, you, my friend, have alcohol poisoning.
No, it 100% is not alcohol poisoning. It's
And
100%
yet-
food.
Okay. Well, as someone who had 2 martinis before she saw the roommate on Tuesday night, and did not feel them at all, I think that my drinking has gotten to a good place.
Wait, what's the roommate?
Remember I saw a
Oh,
show
the
on
play.
Broadway
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Mia Farrow and
Yeah.
Patti LuPone.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that was another mom moment. So like Mia Farrow is like on the stage, and the way they have the set between scenes, like they're going completely dark, which is weird because the set doesn't actually change at all.
Right.
And I truly had a panic attack because she's literally almost 80 years old. I'm like, she can't see anything. There's like, I'm much younger than her, and I couldn't see anything. And then I felt much better when I saw literally this like stage manager come out and like point her where she needed to be. I was like, there's like stairs. I was like, she's gonna fall. I'm gonna watch this woman fall to her death on Broadway.
Yeah. So you're not even watching the show. You're like,
The show wasn't very good.
whoa,
Sorry.
delete that.
They're not a sponsor, but
Yeah. I don't want
But
Mia
now they won't
Farrow
be.
to get mad at me.
they should probably already mad
So
at you.
it can't be food related or weight loss related, but you have
Okay.
to give me a few resolutions.
Okay.
I usually have mantras. Like 1 year it was use every resource.
Oh, that's nice.
1 year it was,
AKA suck up all the energy in the room.
yep.
You were like, mine.
I had chargers in every outlet. Turn the hot water on,
You're
warm
just
the
like
hands.
going in, you're like taking things off people's plates. So you're like, "Reet?"
Yep. Every calorie was consumed. 1 year wasn't it have more fun? Isn't that
Something like that. It was
brutal? Live,
terrible.
laugh, love.
Yeah, you did a live, laugh, love. You were like, yoga class. I think I'll pour a glass.
I used more research. I can't remember, but I had some good ones. Oh, one of them, 1 year it was I know what I'm doing. That was
Yes.
my New Year's resolution was I know what I'm doing.
Every single one of these is just like really the most devastating, like white male energy. You're like, I know what I'm doing. Use every resource. Have more fun.
No,
And Mike
because use every resource. I would go to the end of the year and I go, I'm not successful. I'm not on ESPN yet. I'm not, killing it in stand up. And then I go, I do actually know all these people. I should, use every resource.
Okay.
So that's good. That's actually good advice. It has nothing to do with being white or male. Those days are over. Who's president now? We took the White House back.
Oh my God.
Times are changing for us, baby. Things are looking up. Things are looking better. We're not going to be obsessed with the race anymore. Dem, lib.
I can't with you. I don't know. I haven't really reflected about what I want to achieve next year, but I feel so like last year when you have a kid who's like under 1, I feel like your goal really needs to be like I don't know, like making life happen when you have a baby.
Survive in advance. Like the NCAA tournament.
It's like you just have to focus on that. And I actually think I've gotten a lot better about being like, this is what it is. Like, this is the thing. So like, just be focused on what that is. And then it won't feel like you're not doing anything. You'll be focused on the thing that you're actually doing, which is like raising children. Mm-hmm. And like being
it's really good. I really like that.
Yeah. But I'm like, but next year, like, okay, the kids are a little older. Like you want them to be involved in more things. You're like doing more activities. There's more stuff you can do, like when you're like not dealing with like nap schedules and whatever. And I'm like, so then maybe it's like carving out, like literally an hour a week where I can go do something that's like just not involved with children or work or, grocery shopping. But I'm like, I haven't figured out exactly what the focus is going to be yet because I don't know what I want it to be yet.
So where my mantra 2 years ago was do less better, yours is actually do more better. Mo better.
No, I'm doing the most, Noah.
But you're saying you want to do more, but more stuff that's like actually fun for you.
Yeah. I don't think I have fun anymore. Drinking is fun. Also sleeping.
I've slept so much the past 4 days due to my illness.
Yeah.
My devastating illness that I'm actually tired of sleeping right now.
Rehab. Yeah.
I've been in Passages Malibu for a week.
If you got to go to Passages before me, I'd be so mad. I really would.
That was always one of your best jokes.
Going to Passages?
Back when you used to do comedy.
I will murder
Still
you.
doing comedy? If a comedian says that to you,
yeah,
it's fighting words. Okay.
When has a comedian said that to you?
I've been at shows. Oh, where are you getting up? Kind of like, oh, still doing it.
No. You can't say where are you getting up and conflate that with are you still doing comedy? Are you still doing comedy is like the thing that your aunt says to you,
right.
And then you go like last Christmas when you were in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And I was home with Henry, who was 2.5, and Pearl, who was like 10 weeks old. Mm-hmm. And people would be like, "And you still performing?" I'm like, "Does it look like I'm performing? Does it look like that
yeah.
right now?"
It's like, when's the last show you came to?
First of all, they don't come to shows.
Aunt Tammy. Second
of all, it's like, what is that? Is that what you think my reality is right now? What do you think is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm like, people have also like the whole idea that like you get older and your kids get older and then you like forget what it was like to like have little kids, I think is like absolute nonsense. Like,
no, I think it's a evolutionary fact that happens because even my mom said to me yesterday, and I know she's a special case, but like this is a long time ago. But
yeah, but I'm also like, just think about it.
She goes, "You were never like that." I'm like, "I sure was." Do you know what I mean? Like I think you just forget because it's so awful. You just are like, that didn't happen. I like this version of my kid. Like you don't. I don't think you remember how bad it was, so that way you can have more kids. I've been radicalized. I got a lot of theories.
I just don't agree with it. I think that like people don't want to like acknowledge like the reality of the situation, and there's some people who are really good about it, and there's some people who just aren't. Well,
in 4 years, we can ask on this pod if we remember what it was like.
I will remember. I'll remember when I'm 80. I will. I'm like, I don't like when I see people who are like 22 dealing with like, the post-college, like, stress and whatever. I'm like, I remember exactly what that was like.
Yeah.
I can't tell you like exactly what my day was or what, you know, like, or who I spoke to or whatever, but I'm like, the feeling I remember, like that's the part I do remember, not the like,
yeah.
Oh, what did I, you know, who did I get rejected by? I don't really remember like those details, but I'm like, I definitely remember like what the vibe was, and the vibe was bad.
Oh, so I was reminiscing with my high school buddies who were like tangentially almost involved with Barstool. I told you this story.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I got offered this job. And I was like, it's not enough money. And of course now they're like, oh, that was like
Right.
it. But there was a lot of that. And I was telling them that I remember I got this, I don't even know if I was offered the gig, but I was just told about it. They're like, yeah, it's a hosting gig. It's up in the Poconos. And, but you got to wear leather shoes. You can't wear sneakers. You need to wear leather shoes when you're hosting.
Dress shoes?
Like, yeah, you had to wear like a leather dress shoes to get this hosting gig.
Okay. My
point being, you're in your 20s, you don't know which way is which, and then you have people thinking that like wearing leather shoes matters. Like it would ever matter if you were doing stand up what shoes you were wearing. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. What matters is get up there and kill. Do you have material? Do you have 15 minutes? Do I have to work clean or not? Like that's what I'm saying is like it was always that feeling of not knowing what the hell mattered and then getting like the worst advice ever.
Right.
That was like, get some leather shoes. That's what you need. No, you need to be the funniest person we've ever seen.
Right.
And then people will say, wear a bikini. We don't care. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like a fountain of bad advice. And I remember that one being so funny because even at the time I was like, I don't think that matters. I'm like, Seinfeld wears sneakers. I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, I guess. But like, I don't know.
You think I should wear leather shoes? Your reaction is bizarre.
I obviously have no control over how you dress because look at you. I don't know.
Also, here's another one.
Oh my God.
Italian leather.
Yeah?
Is it different than other leather?
Yes.
Why? Those cows are like, come over here. We got the good grass. Get over here, Antonio.
I honestly think you're having a stroke.
I'll just keep filling these airwaves till you react.
I'm reacting. Did you just hit the mic with your head?
What else can we reminisce about? So you think you can rap? That was a good show. Should we bring it back to the stand?
I don't know.
You want to do a live show with me?
Yeah, I told you that. Find a venue.
I know, but the other people didn't know about it.
Oh. Well, I told you that. I think that now, I don't know, like there's a world where we could do it every other week.
Whoa. I like that.
Or monthly, but it just depends on the venue.
Call it date night?
Yeah. Or whatever. But like
we'll brand it with 2-4, so you remember it's the second and fourth Fridays.
People don't need to like remember when it is. They're going to ask you when it is, and then you send them the information.
But we want strangers to come too. We don't just friends
I understand
and family.
that, but like they don't. No stranger is going to remember when it is. You still just have to look it up. Like what do you want? Like a stranger to remember like what day you have a show? That's deranged.
Alyssa, I used to have success. A lot of success marketing our show at the Vaughn or at the Grizzly Pear because I would go, when people go, when's your next show? I'd go, it's July 13th. Put in your phone right now.
I know you told them when the show was.
Yeah.
So they're not walking around going, I know it's on the 13th and the 15th. Like what? Like it's not their PIN number. They're not like,
Speaking of PIN numbers, I have 2 phones now.
Oh my God.
As you know.
I do know.
And they sent me a work phone.
Were you able to get into the second phone? Because that was a problem for many weeks. Many weeks I would see a phone sitting on my counter and this was your new work phone and you absolutely could not get into it.
Yeah, so I had to call IT and they were like, did you open the phone? And I'm like, no. They're like, did you set up an account? I go, no. They go, did you set up the workstation app? I go, no. I go, why are you doing it now? I'm like, well, they deleted work email from my personal phone. So now I must do it. So now I got to be one of these douches with 2 phones, you know.
Yeah.
That's
where is your other phone right now?
It's at home. That's very 2010. Oh, but the point about girls I was going to make.
Oh my God. We're coming back.
We're bringing it full. It's called a callback. You know, I've never done a callback on stage.
Never?
Other than a crowd work callback. I don't even know really how it works. So I do a joke about, my wife talks a lot, right? And then
you do a joke about how I talk a lot?
No, for example.
Oh.
In the future.
I'm like, literally no one talks more than you.
That's hilarious. I barely said a word this pod. What? And then 10 minutes later, I go, and my wife, she talks a lot, and they applaud. That's what they're like.
No, when a woman talks in the crowd, you go, "What is my wife here?"
Yeah. See, I've done that.
Yeah, but that's a callback.
Okay.
That's a callback.
But I've never done a written one. Have you guys done a written one?
Yeah, but like you have to. I mean, are you familiar with the concept in a musical called a reprise?
Yeah, that's like sometimes they do. Right?
Okay, something you might not know about Noah and myself is that
Noah and me.
I know. I did that for you.
Sorry.
How many songs a week do you think I write?
2 or 3?
Yeah, and how many are hits?
You've got 10 hits, and the one I sang was.
Will you sing it?
But explain what it is. It's a like around the apartment reprise. It's meaningless, but it's how you just sing it.
It's not meaningless. It was based on something that you did that made me laugh, and then sometimes I turn those things into songs, and by sometimes I mean frequently.
Yeah.
And sometimes those songs really have a lasting impact on our relationship, and sometimes you do is a hit. It was a hit.
But I pictured people changing the stage around when we sing it.
Right, like maybe like 7 years ago I wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it stuck with us.
And there's the Henry song "Hey There Bugadoo,"
Yep.
which is another hit that your friend Pete sings to himself.
Yeah, and his son.
And his son. But there was another recent hit. Anyway.
Are you going to sing Hey There Bugadoo for the crowd?
Hey there, Bugadoo. Wait, now I don't remember the second line.
Tiniest little bit.
The tiniest, cutest bugaroo. Hey there, Bugadoo.
Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you.
Yeah, then there's a chorus. Anyway, Jane and I used to write a lot of songs together.
Yeah.
And actually, we wrote a song on the trampoline once about when you fall down, you have to get back up again. And it was really good. And then Aaliyah stole it.
Really? You wrote that?
Yeah. When I tell you, like, the song was very familiar. And then we would laugh because we're like, hear the song on the radio. We're like, that's literally the song we wrote on the trampoline. It's really weird.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other of your songs.
No, we'll save them for the next app.
Oh, are we running out of time?
I don't know. What time is it?
5.
I have to go to
52
school.
Minutes? Okay, you'll go to school soon. So the one thing about girls that I still am trying to jam in here and get in here is that
Oh my God.
it's none of it's really dated, but then
Yep.
sometimes they'll say something about the internet, and it seems dated. Like, I made an internet dating profile. Like, she says an internet dating profile, and you're like, who wrote this? My dad? Like,
Yeah, like on the World
or
Wide
they
Web.
go, I can't find anything on the internet. Whereas we would say online. We wouldn't say the internet anymore.
Or did you say inline? Did you say online or inline?
It was BlackBerry time. It wasn't.
I know. Did you ever have BlackBerry?
No, when I got my commercial real estate job, in which I was very successful. No, worst ever, worst broker of all time. They tried to give me a BlackBerry. And I go, can I just get an iPhone? I can like do email on that, and they were like, yeah.
Oh,
So,
I had a BlackBerry, and I would send BBMs to Megan.
I bet you guys were BBMing all
We're like,
day. That
I was like, gotta check my work email. Like, who's emailing me? My boss being like, where are you?
That was such a moment in time, the BlackBerry era.
I had a pink one. I had a BlackBerry Pearl.
Like, how long did the whole BlackBerry era last? Like 4 years? I think there's a movie about this.
Maybe it was 6 years. I don't know.
But it was like,
'Cause there was, like,
then they were
early
just
adopters.
gone. Then they were just gone.
Yeah. But, well, right. But I did like mine.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a Tamagotchi. It was like, ding, 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 ding.
Do you know what year the first iPhone came out?
2004?
7.
Oh,
Is that weird?
no. Okay, I have to get a skew now.
All right. So you have no.
What are you going to get me for Christmas or our anniversary?
Hard to shop for, okay? Hard to shop for.
You should do something big.
Want?
You should do something big.
Why? For the 8th anniversary?
Yep.
8 year itch.
8 and done.
8 years
8 is
married.
great.
8 years married.
Yes.
10 years, 11 years together.
Wow. That's a long time.
Is that a long time?
Yeah. Been a long time.
We've done a good job. You've done a great job. I've done an incredible job.
Did a pretty good job.
Key is you got to be patient.
Why are you like rubbing? Okay, before we get out of here, this is something for you to work on in the new year. Why do you keep touching things? Literally, like walls. You like can't keep your fingers off things like a child. You're just like you're like.
I did touch your wall on the way up, Mike, because it's like textured. I was like, oh, that's not. She's like, you're like an idiot.
It's really gross and weird. I'm like, we live in New York City. Stop touching so much stuff.
There's nothing I love more than a cold coffee table between the toes.
We know.
Sound off in the comments if you do that too with your toes. You ever do that, Mike?
What'd you say? What?
So like if a coffee table has like this,
big,
and you stick your toes in between. Yeah, it's nice.
I also like the edge of the coffee table. If I'm like cross-legged at home, I'll stick my toes between that.
That's what I'm saying. I used to do it all the time. She'd be like,
good. Just where people eat off of. That's really nice.
The edge, not like the. I'm talking the under edge, like where they make the connection.
Me too. The undercarriage.
I'm not an animal.
I'm jamming toes up there all day. Maybe it's a big guy thing.
What?
We should start a pod called 2 Bears, 1 Coffee Table. Okay?
2 bears, 4 toes.
Honestly, if that was like your OnlyFans, you two putting your feet all over a coffee table.
Maybe that should be it.
It might work.
Savage Noah in the new year.
Savage Noah, feet stuff.
We love you, listeners. We're going to keep on keeping on. Okay? Got anything to announce?
End of days. No, I'm good.
All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.